welcome back to my show. In today's episode, we have a really special guest here with us today. The guest's name is Gail D. She is the author of Sugar Inspired and many other books. So anyways, let's give her a round of applause and let her introduce herself. Hi Gail, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Gail, and I'm the author of My Faith According to the Butterfly and Sugar Inspired. So, what else is there to say about me? I live in the Philippines, and I used to be a web designer. I still am, but not as full-time as before. And I've lived here in the Philippines since I was born. And my husband and I, we have lots of pets. We have 5 ducks, 2 dogs, 2 bunnies, 2 cats, 2 turtles, and 1 wild bird in our backyard. They call him blackbird. I don't really know what kind of bird he is, but he hangs out a lot, so it's kind of funny.
Wow, that's a lot. That's really
So yeah. They're a handful, but I love them all.
That's really nice.
So yeah, about my books. Yes. Go ahead.
So, like you're surrounded by wildlife, and wildlife as in like the wild bird you talked about, and your own pets. So, have any of these pets or these animals in your life, have they ever inspired you to write any of your books, or were all your books separate and not related to animals?
Oh, definitely. In my debut, My Faith According to the Butterfly, Sam has a duck named I totally forgot his name. Hold on. He has a duck named Lawin. Lawin is totally inspired by my own duck, Mahal. Mahal is in heaven now, but I somehow copied Mahal's fierceness and based it on, and created a character of Lawin. And Sugar and Spite is actually dedicated mainly to my pastor also in heaven, and one of the main characters there, who is Jolina's dog, Kidlat, he was totally inspired by my dog Kubrick, and he was quite special to me. This dog sport, agility.
I don't think I'm familiar with that.
So basically with agility, what you do is like you and your dog go through an obstacle course. So you gotta learn how to give your dog commands without actually saying the words. So to be able to do that, you need to have a special kind of bond. And somehow Kubrick and I managed to reach that kind of relationship. So when he passed away unexpectedly, apparently he had we didn't know he had some kind of a genetic disease. So he passed away sooner than expected, and I was really devastated. So normally I would create some kind of a memorial for my pet, for when for example a duck dies, I would take some of their feathers and create some kind of a little memorial of their feathers in a frame. But with Kubrick, I couldn't really bring myself to create any art or a short piece about him, because it felt like an acceptance of his death if I do that. So it took me 3 years, and then when my editor from Scholastic asked me what do I want to talk about, what do I want to write about next for my second book, I was like, you know what, it's been 3 years, maybe I should try writing Kubrick in, and maybe that's gonna help me heal. Surprisingly it did, because that was actually the first time that I realized that writing is it's not just about expressing your feelings, expressing your thoughts. It gave me this sense of healing. It actually helped me heal. You know, yeah, and it's I don't know. It's just it's having him there in the book made me feel like somehow he's alive. He comes alive through Kidlat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that your relationship and bond with your dog really like inspired your characters, and like the fact is that if you have characters which are inspired by your own personal experiences or personal people who are animals or anyone who's there, you have a personal connection with your own characters,
Yes.
which possibly could be, not possibly, it's most of the time it is like given or transferred to the reader, because they can actually feel the happiness, bond, or whatever is happening in there through the personal connections you're creating.
Yeah, and the nice thing about writing Kubrick in is that I was able to share Kubrick with everyone who reads it. And like, you know, they get to experience what it's like to be loved by this really wonderful good boy. Yeah.
That's amazing. My next question for you is that so you're author obviously. So do you hear from your readers, and if yes, what do they say?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Some of them even mail me stuff from all over the world, and it's always fun receiving mail from, like, you know, actual letters, not just email. But most of the time I usually get emails, and a lot of them, like majority of them are like from people of color like us. It's somehow not necessarily Filipinos, but brown and black readers. Somehow I'm so flattered. It's so flattering to learn that it gives them somehow hope that they can be represented in books whenever they see another author who's like brown. And I'm not necessarily light brown, as you can see. I'm actually on the darker side. And the thing is, here in the Philippines, we have what you call like colorism issues. Like with that, it's more like even though you're in a predominantly brown society, because of colonial, you know, of the Philippines being a colonized country, the idea that being white is much better, that somehow is ingrained in us, that we need to be light, we need to have light skin. So I try as much as possible to add a little bit of that in all my books, because I want to make sure that kids who were like me realize that, you know, you're brown, you're beautiful, you should be proud of it, proud of your skin. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. There's nothing for you to be ashamed about. You're absolutely beautiful, and that you should remember that. And you know, that I whenever I hear from readers who tell me that it made them feel much better about, you know, being brown or being black, it's the best feeling. It's like this is the reason why I'm writing.
That's amazing. Like giving the representation to all people of color and even otherwise, so that they can see that they can do great things as well, and it's not just people who are not of color doing adventurous things. Like
Exactly.
nowadays, like books have started coming out with people from cultures which have not been regularly represented in the literature side or movies. Like now, African Americans, Koreans, Indians, everyone is coming up into the representation, going on adventures, doing fun things, and everything an extraordinary kid would do.
Definitely. And the best thing about that is that whenever you see yourself represented in that variety of media, you get this feeling that, I can be anyone, or I can be whatever I want to be, and I don't have to be like boxed into what stereotype Filipino should be, or what the stereotype Indian should be, and I feel like that kind of thinking would open a lot more doors for people of color like us, and I'm super 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 honored that somehow my books are playing a part of it.
It's amazing how like all your books, I've read the books you have, and they're like so inspiring even to people. Like I'm pretty sure your books are really popular all over the world, and like the books really touch your heart and like really inspire you to do great things in future. I'm pretty sure like also that your books would probably be like really nice to have as like maybe like a book club book, because most of the time book club books are books that like really are like inspirational, or maybe something that you can learn from, and I'm pretty sure like your books are really inspiring, as I said earlier, and it's really fun to read.
Thank you so much. I love to hear that. I mean, any author would, but that's coming from you. That's wonderful.
Another question I have for you is that what inspired you to really start writing? Like, what was that starting point for you?
Wow. When I was a kid, I remember, I believe, school, they were teaching us reading at around first grade, which is, I believe, I was 7 years old. The thing is, I'm a very visual person. The problem with that, it was difficult for me to learn how to read. Like everyone in my class were already, reading whole paragraphs, and I can't even read a single word. So my grandmother, she was an English teacher. She knew that I was very visual. So what she did was she asked my mom, who's an artist, to draw flashcards, like images of random things. And then my grandmother somehow taught me to associate those images with words. And once it clicked, once I realized what it's like, I don't really recall what that turning point was for me when it totally just fell into place, and like this is how it is to read. But somehow, as soon as I found out what it's like to read it, I realized that wow, I've been missing out on a whole lot of fantastic worlds.
Wow,
and that's
amazing.
Yeah, and that's when I started really really loving to read. And I was devouring everything. I started with the religious Bible stories that my grandmother was giving, and then soon I was like reading like longer books, comics, all kinds of things. And it got to the point like I believe I was like around 11 or so that I decided that I wanted to write my own, but at the same time I also wanted to like somehow use my talent in drawing. So I created this graphic novel, quote unquote, because like it was only like a few pages, about a bookworm who lives in a book. Now, this bookworm only lives in books that he actually likes to read. So I totally lost the original because there was a flood at our old house. But I tried to recreate it, so you can see here. So anyway,
yeah, I cannot see it because of the worship background, but yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it looks really nice.
It's just I'm trying to like recreate it, but somehow it was like that.
If this podcast would have been in video, I would have definitely loved to like allow the audience to even see what you're showing me.
Oh, anyway, I'm kind of like I can share it with you anyway. I can share it
Yeah,
with
and
people.
maybe you can send me the link, and then I can put it in the
Definitely.
show notes or something like that.
Sure.
Anyways, the next question, this is actually our last question, which is that so actually I have two questions for you in the same
Sure.
question, which is that when you, as you your story was that you started off by being a visual learner, visual reader, and then your grandmother gave you flashcards, and you made stories and like representing them by words. So you started off as a young child. So there are also many young writers out there who want to write or have already started writing and want to improve their craft more. So what kind of tips would you want to give them? And you can give more than one as well.
Okay, actually, there is one that I always tell young writers is that you need to, find the extraordinary in the ordinary. Like for example, every idea doesn't necessarily have to be so totally you need to meditate to get those right ideas. You don't really need to, because for example, like this tumbler, this can be a source of idea. I mean, this tumbler alone, I'm just thinking at the top of my head. This can be a horror book. This can inspire a horror book. How? For example, what if this tumbler that you're seeing right now is actually a canister for bad evil spirits, and then the main character suddenly just accidentally releases it like a Pandora's box. Now she has to hunt for those evil spirits and put them back in the canister. That's
that's really
right. It's just a tumbler. So
I guess in a way what you're trying to say is what if, like given like a what if situation with ordinary things. That's really
with
good.
ordinary things, because sometimes one of the things that I even sometimes I myself fall into is that sometimes we try to just think too much. We try to find things, seek for things too hard without really knowing that those inspirations are just right in front of us. And another thing that I would readers to the inspiring writers to do is that you need as much as possible, if you can, read as much as you can, because you learn by reading other authors' works. I mean, I already have 2 published books, but I still 100% read other people's book. And by the way, speaking of which, feel free to read my friend's book, Remy Lies. Her latest is Picasso. It's a graphic novel. It's about a dog again who goes into town and just shops on his own. And there was this girl named Jo who befriends Picasso. It's a fun book, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to read it. Just to make sure I'm thinking of the right author, is she the author of Fly on the Wall?
Yep, definitely, she is.
Yep, I've read that. It was really fun.
If you love Fly on the Wall, you're definitely gonna like Picasso. Because here's an interesting tidbit: Picasso, the main character dog in the story, is actually inspired by Remy's actual dog, who's named Poop Roller. Yeah, so this book was made with love, 100%.
That's amazing. I love the way how everyone, not everywhere I would say, but nowadays the books which are coming out, they're always inspired by someone special, inspired by maybe a sibling or a family member or an animal, a pet, or just someone they met on the journey so far.
Definitely.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, even in my first book, My Fifth According to the Butterfly, the main character Sab was inspired by my own younger sister.
That's amazing. So guys, this is the end of the episode. I hope you learned a lot of new things and apply all of these new things you learned today in your writing and your daily life. Anyways, that's the end. So that's it. Okay guys, bye.
Bye.
See you all next time. Thank you for taking out out your time to be here with us today. So this is the end, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.